I am Adam Mercer, Chief Transparency Officer.
And I'm Alan Doles, Director of Public Interpretation.
And this is KWNA. So tonight, we have several gripping topics. They're going to be very enjoyable. We're going to go ahead and let Alan Doles kick off the first one for us. We're going to jump right into it.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and hit straight into it. This one's a pretty big topic for me personally, at least. I was in the grocery store. I know a lot of people, go to grocery stores, and I was picking up some canned beans, and little sign on the can that says no MSG, and I thought for a second, because I was like, you usually don't see that unless it's food of the Asian or Asiatic variety, Silk Road type deal. And I started to turn the can around and look at the back, and I noticed a line item that said monosodium glutamate, which of course, being an illiterate American, I don't really know what that is. So I Googled it naturally. And it turns out monosodium glutamate is actually MSG. It's the same thing. So this one, I mean, it's not even really a conspiracy, because I kind of already proved it. But we're going to go ahead and throw it up in there just for the sake of getting it out there for public awareness certified, certification.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I wanted to ask the question: why is it that Asians, or Asians in general, get blamed for the proliferation of this monosodium glutamate when it's right in their own backyard? Like this was I won't say names, I won't mention names, but this was a very familiar can of beans to me. I love butter beans. These things are thick as steaks, and I can't eat them now. I can't eat them because I've been lied to. It's been ruined.
Okay, so what's the conspiracy here?
I'm gonna be real with you. There's really not one. This is just kind of a personal affront that I feel I feel like I needed to get out, get off my chest, I guess. But we'll get into the actual conspiracies here in a second. But do you have any thoughts on it, Adam?
Well, I've got a lot of questions.
Okay, all right, fire it away.
Okay, so hang on a second. The conspiracy. What I'm curious about is what the conspiracy is actually focusing on here. So is it that the can said no MSG, but it has monosodium glutamate written in the ingredient list on the back? Is the conspiracy about what they can and cannot put on the cans, what they advertise versus what's actually real? Is it about that? I know that you mentioned that Asians get blamed a lot for, I think you said, the proliferation of MSG. I don't know anything about that. Let's talk more about that. Is that more the base of the conspiracy? Is where it came from? Who's getting blamed for it? Why it's here?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a general feeling of safety that people have with American-based cuisine, where they're just kind of used to the idea that they're not at risk. And I mean, I don't even know what monosodium glutamate even is, but if it says that it's not in the can, I'm assuming it's bad for me and that it's not in there for a reason. So I think that really is the biggest aspect of the conspiracy, is just that we've been lied to, more or less, by people that we ought to be able to trust, and that the people that we thought we couldn't trust may actually have been more trustworthy in the first place. Because I know damn well I've not gotten MSG from any Asian ever, because they tell you right up front, they said there's no MSG in it. So I don't know who to trust anymore. It's this has kind of shattered my perspective and my worldview.
So I know you said you didn't want to name names, but the beans, are they
Yeah.
Were
no.
they Asian beans? Were they American beans?
No, I mean they were full-blooded American beans. From the southeastern variety.
Okay.
Um, some butter beans and butter sauce. With a healthy dose of spices.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I mean, I'll be frank with you. These beans, I might actually be going into withdrawal from these beans because I haven't had them in a few weeks, and I'm starting to feel it. Like
Well, I mean, if they had
I'm
MSG
craving it.
in them, makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, evidently it's like crack for food. Um,
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
least in the sense of addictive nature.
Right,
So
right.
um, yeah. I mean, any more questions or?
How many foods are you aware of that have monosodium glutamate in them?
Honestly, just this one. This is the first time I've really encountered it in the wild. Yeah, I tend to take it at face value when it's on the can or when somebody tells me that it's not in there. I mean, I'm a pretty trusting individual, so
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Well, there's going to be
you know,
a lot of viewers out there, a lot of people, a lot of public that are going to be able to relate to this same thing. Uh, they've
yeah,
always just taken what's on the can at face value, and maybe we need to stop doing that. Apparently they can put whatever they want on the can.
yeah. I mean, evidently, it just doesn't matter. They can say and do whatever they want because it's you know, I guess nobody questions, nobody asks the question. What am I actually eating? What am I doing? Um, so you know, it's food for thought for sure. It's food for thought, and it bears repeating that you know maybe there's just things that we can't trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, seems like a bit of an odd stance for a channel like this. But yeah, we do have to end up coming around to the conclusion that there are things that we can't trust. So
yeah,
I think
yeah. I mean,
everybody in our public or in our viewers will be very familiar with this concept.
well, and I think ultimately it's a call for us to take our role far more seriously. Um, just being faced with it, faced with the reality of these things and what we cover, right there in the supermarket. I mean, I'm telling you, it hit close to home,
Yeah.
and it definitely has kind of given a renewed vigor, um, for me to really ask maybe not the right questions, but just questions at all.
Well, yeah.
Um,
We don't always know the right
right,
questions.
right. But we're just gonna ask. We're gonna keep asking, and hopefully, as long as we are asking,
Yeah, yeah.
things will turn out well.
Yeah, do you think they can lie about like anything? I mean, like can they put anything on the cans? Like can they put whatever they want? I know like there's like 50,000 different kinds of beans that are like the number one bestseller in America. It's really interesting. Maybe they're all just the same bean. I don't know. But
It's possible. I mean, I couldn't even tell you anymore. I mean, it's I've been shattered. Um, I mean, I know that at least visually the beans do look dissimilar. Some of them look the same, but yeah, I mean, I would hazard the guess that yeah, I think I would guess that they could just kind of do whatever they want, say whatever they want, put whatever they want on the can. I mean, clearly because it said right there on the can, no MSG, and then you turn it right around on the back, and it's got MSG in it. It's crazy, you know. But what else
mhm.
is in there that I can't pronounce?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
But I can't pronounce any of them, honestly. So many wild things in it.
I know. I mean, like, what even is it? I mean, I probably have one still in my cabinet. I could probably bust it out, but blur the label. But either way, yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to start off with that because it really is um, it was a stark reminder for me, to take my job far more seriously, to realize the stakes, that we're facing. Um, and truly just kind of always remember that it's to the point of being a public servant. So um yeah, that's kind of all I've got for that one in particular, but
Yeah.
you're
Well,
welcome to
I
ask
mean,
more.
I think if we really look at it, I think the beginning of this episode has kind of been a good public service announcement.
Yeah, yeah,
Certain things hit closer to home. Certain things are really deep conversations. Certain things are they get kind of emotional. And it's good to kind of like
right,
it's good to kind of look at those things very closely every now and then. It's very
yeah,
important to be open, to be honest about it, actually look at it. At KWNA, when we actually set out to try to acknowledge all the conspiracies, we don't always recognize that some of these are going to hit close to home, and really tug on the heartstrings sometimes.
yeah,
Something like this
yeah,
is just
yeah.
easy to overlook, easy to not want to look at or embrace. But these things could
Yeah.
get really intense. So, well,
Again, yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's good that you say that. And it's good to mention that. I mean, especially with the rest of the show tonight. It's
mhm,
possible that these things might hit. Where this particular one hit home for me, some of these other ones might hit home for others in our
right,
audience, and it's just a good idea to keep I don't know, like a blanket close by or something like that.
yeah,
Something to hold on to.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but moving forward,
Yeah, I think the
you
one that
know,
we have next on the docket is it's a little lighter, so I think we could just go ahead and move on to that one. It'll be a good reprieve from the
yeah,
previous one.
yeah, no, 100%. So this one's a pretty special one. I think it's one of those ones that really kind of unlocks a lot of adjacent possibilities.
Hmm.
Um, everybody's familiar with CGI.
Right,
Everybody's familiar with, early levels of CGI in the
right.
movies. We're talking 80s, 90s,
Hmm.
2000s.
Yeah, it's rough stuff.
A lot of right, right. It's rough stuff. Some of it holds up, some of it doesn't.
Hmm.
But this particular one, this one makes the assertion that CGI was actually around way before it became mainstream in the movies. Actually, as a military development.
Okay,
Um,
very
People
interesting.
might or might not be familiar with Laurel Canyon and some of the movie studios out there. Those were allegedly military movie studios. Doing stuff like World War II film editing and
Hmm.
things like that.
Okay.
Vietnam stuff like that. So, and the assertion is that those studios were utilizing CGI, utilizing Cray
Mm.
mainframe supercomputers back during and before the JFK assassination, and that the JFK assassination itself was actually a CGI production on a Cray mainframe. And that not only did JFK not die until 2009, but he was living in Boca Raton, Florida, with Marilyn Monroe, who also did not die, but had her death faked as well at the same time.
Wow. Okay, so we just went from the
Yeah.
grocery store to military studio productions, and
Yeah. Well,
faking a president's death. That's uh,
right.
that's intense.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, some of the stuff just doesn't really hit home for me, like the other
Right,
one,
right.
the first one did. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I could imagine for sure, it hitting home for a lot of others.
yeah, yeah.
And it's yeah, I mean, as far as the whole JFK Marilyn Monroe thing, like I know a little bit about that, and I know that you have a lot of media from the time surrounding that
Hmm.
that you know it was a national travesty. You
Mm,
know, um,
maybe.
you had basically the day that the music died, according to one famous artistic representation of it.
Mm.
And then, you know, the reality is that it might not have even happened. This guy might have just been living in Boca, living it up, all the way up until 2009 with one of the hottest women of the 60s, you know.
Mm.
So, I mean, I don't really know what he had to complain about, to be honest. But you know, and
Well, he's
then
not
of
dead.
course there's, you know, the children that he left behind, the brothers, I guess, multiple brothers and children that he left behind, possibly a sister. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. But you know, family members in general that he left behind. You know, one of which is, you know, there's a whole host of other conspiracies, and it just kind of casts aspersions and precatory assertions down that whole like chain of events, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting, it's a very interesting perception, to say the least. But I'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, I mean, you know, regarding the JFK assassination, I mean, this was a very big deal at the time. But again, like, essentially what you're saying is that we can't trust anything today because, you know, it could be edited, it could be fake, it could be manipulated, whatever you want to do to it. You know, they're able to generate whatever they want. You look at Hollywood and everything looks incredibly real. You know, everything looks incredible. It's incredibly high quality. If that kind of stuff were possible, you know, like it would look like that, you know?
Right.
So really
Yeah.
what you're saying here
Yeah.
is that, you know, you could just take that further back. Um, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The military is capable of doing a lot of things that they don't release to the public, that the public starts doing themselves until many years later. You know, a lot of military secrets, a lot of military technology programs, stuff like that, don't get released until later. I mean, the internet was, you know, a military
Yeah.
thing before it ever
Famously.
became public. That's one that everybody will relate to and realize, or recognize, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah. Hopefully, at
And
least. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully at least. Like I said, this one was going to be a bit lighter because CGI is pretty fun, right? I mean,
Yeah. I
you could
mean,
do
you
a lot
know,
of cool stuff with it.
the
And so
minions, you know,
yeah, there you
Land
go,
Before Time.
With the
Land
minion
Before Time.
CGI, I think that's just. I think everything you're mentioning is just basic
They,
animation.
I mean, they might be real. I don't know. Or you saying they're animation? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't work in the industry, so, um, you know, it's kind of anybody's guess.
Well, I mean, like,
But
okay, so let's talk about CGI though, as CGI. You know, like the
okay.
idea
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
computer generated whatever it is.
I think Treasure Planet was CGI. Yeah.
I thought, wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding this. I thought CGI was when you took something real and then you used like computer generation to like, I don't know, change it or
Is
something. Like in Lord of the Rings, like all
um.
those like orc armies are like totally CGI.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like
Okay. Okay.
all
No,
the
that
Disney
tracks. That
stuff like
tracks.
CGI, or is that just considered like animation?
No, I mean, I guess you're probably right. I mean, you know, I appreciate you doing your job as the chief transparency officer. You
Hmm.
know, really making sure that the public perception is and the public interpretation is as clear as possible. Yeah, I mean, I guess you would be right. The reality of CGI is not animation. It's more like it's computer generated imagery. So you know,
Hmm.
it's kind of, I guess, kind of more like video games. I guess, um, you know, like game engines and such.
Hmm.
You know, being able to generate things that you know, from like 3D models and such,
Hmm.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know, you generate a 3D model of JFK and I guess the back of his head on a car, you know, and then Jackie, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah,
Yeah. That one of my personal favorite conspiracies
yeah,
surrounding this is you know, all the theories of like how that happened and whatnot. My personal favorite is
yeah,
you know, what if his head just did that?
yeah. I mean, it's a compelling argument. You know,
Yeah,
it's one of the most compelling,
absolutely.
you know, things that has come out of that whole milieu, and there's all that stuff about the Zapruder films and, the grassy knoll and like how many shooters were there. There could have been like
Mm-hmm.
15.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only thing that we know for sure is that there was somebody that didn't want one of the most popular presidents in the country's history to be the president anymore. And, for whatever reason and to whatever end that desire was there, is more or less materially irrelevant. But the result is what we kind of look at, which is that, did his head just do that, or was it CGI? Who sets up in a bookstore or a bookbinding factory and just kind of lays out with a Russian rifle? Like, it's just kind of, the whole thing's just rather odd. And I personally, I think it's a little bit of a heartwarming take on it, because the official take is that, he ended up in the ground,
Oh, well, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with this one being a little bit of a happy ending where nobody really had to die. I guess except for the Patsy. They always die. That's
Wait, the Patsy?
literally their function. Yeah.
If it was
on his name, Rosenthal? No.
Wait, what was his role in the scenarios it played out?
The shooter.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blanking on his name.
That's all right.
Either way, where I was going with that was that nobody had to die except for the Patsy, I guess. But that's kind of their role. They're supposed to. So this is a little bit more of a happy ending, I think, for both JFK and everybody involved. I guess Jackie wasn't really about it, in the sense of
You don't think so?
the way things were going for her. Yeah, there was there's a lot of contentious just tension maritally, I suppose, at least from the outside looking in.
I guess you don't hear a whole lot about that aspect of it.
Right. It's definitely one of the aspects that kind of gets lost in the sauce, as it were. Where they just kind of gloss over that. But
because everybody focuses on his head, getting blown off, and nobody really thinks about, was their marriage decent? Like that just kind of falls to the wayside.
Right. Right. Well, I guess a lot of people imagine that it's so because she kind of reaches back and grabs chunks off the car trunk, and it's I think personally that could be taken a lot of different ways. I think it's a rather vague gesture. I guess some could see it as trying to hold on to him, but there's another aspect of it that could be, trying to hide evidence, maybe. There's just any number of things.
I've got a third one that could be really interesting. A lot of people who kill take a lot of people who kill take trophies. So in this scenario, if just throwing this out there as a potential, if she was the one that that called the hit, thing goes down, she kind of takes personal responsibility for it. Kind of feels like she accomplished that,
Right.
Yeah, that piece of lead lands, and she kind of feels like I did it, and kind of snags herself a little trophy there. Yeah.
The sick bitch. It's crazy, but
yeah,
allegedly. No,
just an idea.
It's definitely
just an idea.
Right. Well, and that's obviously assuming that that it was real at all. I mean, like we are saying, it could have been
Right.
entirely CGI'd.
Right.
So,
Right.
because I mean, it is interesting because it does open up so many other avenues. So many people talk about the moon landing being made in a Hollywood basement, but
hmm
what if it was made on a computer?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody ever asked that question.
Yeah.
So it just opens up a lot of interesting avenues and byways to kind
hmm
of explore. And who doesn't love Boca? It's
It's
like I said. I
understandable.
mean, ultimately, it's a rather happy tale.
I agree with this. I agree
You
with this
know,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah. There's
yeah.
there's
I
a
mean,
lot of
it's
these conspiracy theories in poorly. A lot of them have the idea of like, oh, somebody's out to get us. Somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing. In this situation, I mean, those things could be true, but at the same time, like there is
right.
a whether or not it's the centerpiece or not, even if it is just a silver lining. In this particular case, we were told, hey, somebody died, and there's the theory
Yeah.
out there that maybe nobody did.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of the ones that kind of brings a little bit of the warm fuzzy feelies
hmm
to my heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Ending on such a positive note. I mean, everybody lives a good faked death. It's kind of one of those things where it's like the ultimate escapist fantasy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Being able to just leave everything behind, whatever mistakes you may have made. It's almost like getting to live a second life, or like almost like reincarnation in a way. Being
yeah,
able to have all the knowledge of your past mistakes
yeah,
and get a fresh, clean slate. So I mean,
yeah,
it's a little bit like envious in a way,
yeah.
that he just kind of got to live it up until '09, which was honestly, I mean, if we're being frank, one of the best times to die. I think personally, given the way that
Fair.
things are
Yeah,
going
yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah.
You
Early
know,
2000s, good time to finish it. Just close out the
exactly.
decade.
'09 was not the greatest time per se for a lot of people. But I mean, if you're living up in Boca and you already had everything paid for, like feasibly, conceivably, maybe even irrevocably, could have been a good time. So,
Yeah,
I like to think he was. I like to think he was big chillin'. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's kind of let's not really wrap this up per se, but let's kind of summarize a little bit. So the basic
Yeah.
idea of this
Yeah.
conspiracy theory is the JFK assassination was completely faked. CGI was in
Right.
good condition and an access by the military, which would be by the government. And so the
Right.
idea that all
Right.
of this footage that was coming out at the time was actually not real at all. It's completely CGI. None of that happened. Um, Dude doesn't have a massive hole in his melon. He's actually down in Florida.
Right.
He's chilling, and
Yeah.
we just replaced the president of the United States with whoever we wanted. Um,
Right.
Nice and easy.
Right.
No election. Nothing like
LBJ.
that. Bada bing,
Nice
bada
and
boom.
exactly.
hmm
I love a president with a good non-sexual innuendo in his name.
Mm,
Just a straight-laced kind of guy. One of the more um, you know, laconic presidents per se.
mm.
Dude with a lot of or rather not a lot of controversy in his reign of the realm, I guess you could say. Just a rather uneventful several years, So I mean, it really, I guess, was for the best. But yeah, are you ready to move on or
Yeah, yeah. Let's hit the third item on
okay,
our docket. I
cool,
think we're covering these.
sweet, yeah, we're kind of moving right along.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so the next one is honestly kind of standard fare.
Mm,
This one's pretty even keeled. Not a whole lot of controversial content on this one.
mm. Okay,
Kind of basic run of the mill conspiracy.
cool.
Um, I don't know if you had heard about this, but there one of the major bridges up in the Northeast, up in Maryland, actually, the Baltimore Bridge was, the what the conspiracy says is that the Baltimore Bridge was actually destroyed on purpose, so that the local government could embezzle taxes and federal aid appropriation for the repair, quote unquote. Which, like I said, this is pretty run of the mill, pretty standard stuff, usually indicative of kind of a low probability, I suppose, just because it's so not outlandish and just like realistic. So I mean, it's one of the ones that I think, even despite its low sex appeal, I think it probably has a lot of mileage in the public consciousness, despite that fact, though. So I think it's something that we need to touch on at least.
Okay. So what you're saying with this one was that the Baltimore Bridge was just destroyed on purpose, for fraudulent reasons, essentially. Yeah. Tax money could go for it. Yeah. Maybe insurance could go for it. Who knows? Pretty much money could be moved. Money could be embezzled. Money could be manipulated, all in the name of tax dollars. And I would wager the Baltimore Bridge was not cheap. So this is a great opportunity to say, okay, well, it was worth a ton of money, and move a very large chunk of money around, and claim that money was doing something other than it was, right?
Right, exactly. Like I said, it's pretty pretty standard stuff. But I mean, to your point, just a quick search, we're looking at north of $1 billion for a lot of bridges.
Dang.
A good chunk.
Yeah.
Of at the very least the first 10 on the list, over $1 billion. So
Yeah. All we got to do,
it's
all we have to do is take that bottom line, take it from 1 million to 2 million, and everybody goes, well, I mean, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. And just like that, boom, we've embezzled $1 million.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just a few pencil marks there, a little flourish of the pen there, and bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got some fat bank accounts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
all right. So stuff. Yeah. So let's actually flip over to this. Let's talk about the Baltimore Bridge. Sorry, I want to call it the Brooklyn Bridge. Flipping over to
that's one of the more famous ones.
The Baltimore Bridge, though. How exactly was it destroyed?
Yeah, so from what I gathered, the official story is that there was a container vessel, like a Connex vessel, that allegedly lost power in the harbor.
Okay.
And ended up hitting one of the pilings. And just, evidently this bridge was just on its last legs. Coincidentally enough, there were people that got injured. I believe there were several people that got killed. But for a bridge of this size, you would imagine that it would have been, utterly catastrophic in the sense of human casualty and human cost. Coincidentally enough, it really wasn't, which is, I think, maybe one of the things that that kind of drives the conspiracy here, is that the seeming lack of cost to human life, and seeming like just total gain, in that sense, from people who may or may not be unscrupulous.
Yeah. So you're saying that that like there weren't that many cars on the bridge. There wasn't anything really particular going on. Wasn't heavy traffic, nothing like that. Nobody was killed or injured on the boat. So really what you're saying is that it almost looks like...
Not necessarily nobody, but just kind of, it was minimal, seemingly, at least according to the official story.
Really just trying to say that it could have been a lot worse.
Right.
And perhaps should have. Perhaps should have. If somebody had expected it to have happened, they might have expected it to be way worse than it was.
Exactly.
Okay. Very interesting.
A little bit of benevolence here, like in the sense of, all right, well, let's let's throw up some construction work. Like, okay, we're going to be doing some maintenance, and then all of a sudden, this this tanker or Connex, whatever.
We've
Just
actually got
kind
a
of.
picture of it here that we'll throw up here.
Oh, okay, nice.
Hmm.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Stacked to the tits.
Hmm.
It's would I mean, I couldn't see over all those boxes. Could you? So I
No,
mean,
I mean,
who knows
in
who's to
terms of
blame?
actually driving that thing, I mean, I kind
Yeah.
of highly doubt they drive it visually, but if they do, I mean, that guy's screwed.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a wonder that these things don't happen more often. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, just kind of a total lack of of awareness, it seems, from
Yeah,
the
I
outside
mean,
looking in. But I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, hitting one of these pilings. I mean, these things are massive. These things are easy to miss. Like the bridges are designed for boats like this to go under them.
Right.
Like it does seem kind of odd for it
Right.
to just strike
Should
it.
have been.
You know, and like you said, you claimed that you said that
Yeah.
they claimed that they were having technical difficulties. I can understand that, but at the same time, I mean, let's look at what we're actually carrying here. I mean, how expensive are these boats? How expensive is all the cargo on these boats? Like we have to be talking
Right.
multiple layers of fail safes and safeties. I mean, this just seems absolutely
Right.
absurd. The idea that one of these just goes, "Oh, hey, we're having daily run of the mill technical difficulties. That means we, destroy an entire
Yeah.
boat and
Yeah.
all the cargo on it and knock out a $1 billion
Routine technical
bridge.
difficulties.
Oops." You know,
Yeah. Exactly.
this happens
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
daily,
Routine technical
like
difficulties.
the Wi-Fi
It's
cuts out a little
unbelievable.
bit and all of a sudden, all the
Yeah.
boats hit all the bridges in the world.
Yeah. The
It's not
captain's
really
log
that
is
big of
just
a
marked
deal.
in red. It's just a
Yeah.
solid red sheet every
Yeah.
every page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
now I
I
do
mean,
want to
it's a little ridiculous.
yeah. I actually want to go back to that picture because I don't know
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this ship in particular. I've never been on the Baltimore Bridge myself. But at the
Yeah.
same time when we look at this, this seems kind of goofy, right? Look at that
Yeah.
piling that's back there that's still kind of standing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a perspective thing or what, but when we do look at it, does that seem like that boat could have gone under there anyway?
I mean,
I mean,
not
I'm pretty sure you're
really. I
supposed to
mean,
have some kind of
just from what we're
clearance,
looking at
right?
here,
And it kind of looks like that
allegedly.
thing's way too big for it anyway. So, kind of wonder
Yeah.
if
I
anybody's
mean,
asked that question. Like, oh well, the bridge hit the piling, and it's like, yeah, but like, would it have made it under it anyway? I mean, if it wouldn't
right.
have,
Right.
that's
Well,
a
and I
bad
mean, a good
strike,
question to ask is who even can ask that question?
right? Wait,
You
who
know,
can ask that question?
who's right, right? Who can ask
No, I
that
mean,
question at a level that makes any difference? Who's out there investigating the scene and saying, should this thing have even attempted to go under in the first place?
I
Like,
mean,
oh, is this
I don't think
bridge
anybody
even
would have
big
asked that.
enough?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive oversight, honestly,
Hmm.
that we're kind of bringing light to here. So I mean, it's truly unbelievable, even though it is very, kind of routine or unsurprising in the sense of its status as a conspiracy theory.
Hmm.
It definitely is one of the more, plausible ones, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
It just because it isn't flashy doesn't mean that it's not plausible.
Well,
You
I think something like this is easily undermined in terms of flash, because when you put it on paper and you go, oh well, a boat hit a bridge, bridge came down, government could have embezzled a bunch of money off the repair. When you put it on paper like that, that doesn't seem flashy at all. Like government embezzling money off
Right.
of misappropriated funds, like well, you see that every single
Yeah.
day, like
Right.
constantly,
Right.
every single day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what
I
really
mean, at
happened
every
here.
turn.
Right, and I think that's where that technical difficulty, um, excuse actually flies, where everybody goes, "Oh, this is really run of the mill.
Yeah.
This isn't really that big of a deal." I've not been to Baltimore. How many people in the United States don't live in Baltimore or drive across the Baltimore Bridge? They
Yeah.
see about it and they go, "Oh, it's a tragedy." Oh,
Exactly.
but mistakes happen, accidents happen. Like, oh well.
Yeah.
Um,
Who even lives in Baltimore?
but
I mean, like, a serious
I mean, I don't
question.
know.
Yeah.
People live there, right?
I mean, it would stand to reason, I guess. I mean, at
I
least
mean, not that
from the
many
official
people got
narrative. But I
hurt.
mean,
So I mean, there's this bridge that apparently is not transporting that
yeah.
many people. So
That's what I'm saying, man. It's
I
just kind
mean,
of crazy. Like,
dude,
you know, you have this bridge that is seemingly empty,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it's
dude.
just kind
I
of
mean,
okay. Well, is there nobody driving across it?
maybe Baltimore is overinflated from a structure system, you know,
It's
from
a great
like
point.
a basic framework of the entire economy up there. I mean, they've got this massive bridge and like hardly anybody was driving across it. They've got this massive ship and hardly anybody's on it. And clearly they don't care about
Yeah.
the cargo that's on it. So, dude, maybe all that cargo is empty.
Well,
You know, maybe it's all just
well, here,
pretend.
okay. Here's an interesting thought. Here's an interesting thought. Um, maybe what they were doing. Maybe they were trying to clear this off the books. Maybe Baltimore has gotten so depopulated
Mm,
that there's actually no tax money to embezzle in the first place.
mm,
Maybe the bridge and the maintenance of it was such a massive expense that it was causing the city to go into the red. And
yeah.
or is it the red? Yeah, it's the red. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
causing the
Yeah.
city to go into the red. And you know, maybe this act of God, you know, was actually a massive boon in the sense of, you know, kind of keeping something off of the ledger. You know, maybe it's benevolent. Maybe it has nothing to do with stealing tax money. You know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, you never know. You know, you got a big city like that. If depopulation starts to occur, I mean, you know, our government's trying to control population all over the place, or at least that's a lot of
Right.
conspiracy surrounding stuff like that. So, you know,
Right. Right. Which we
stuff
will
like that
eventually get
occurs.
into. Yeah.
Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. There's some very strong
Yeah.
concerns regarding depopulation or population control. Very strong.
Oh, absolutely,
Definitely
100%.
need to get
Yeah.
into
Well,
that.
you know.
A lot of people are concerned
Yeah.
in that area.
I agree. I agree. Once again, it's not something that keeps me up at night, but you know, it's just kind of part of the job. You know,
Yeah.
so it's that one. I think, you know, like I said, it's not flashy,
Hmm.
but I didn't think it was good to go over.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to find not just the silver lining, but try to find a perspective on all of these conspiracy theories that
Hmm.
kind of takes a little bit more of a positive note. You know,
Mm.
maybe the Baltimore Bridge had to come down.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it wasn't good for it to stay up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody's ever asked that question. You know,
I mean,
so
they
we're
got
just
the
keeping
money. I
everything on
mean,
the table.
did they rebuild it?
No,
They didn't
no,
rebuild it?
no.
Wait,
It's
wait.
just no.
So
I'm
what?
pretty sure. Hold on, let me double check. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like,
I'm pretty sure.
well, what happened to all that money? Where'd it go? And why did they get money? I thought they got money to rebuild it. So if they didn't rebuild it,
Let's see. As of today, the Baltimore Francis Scott Key Bridge has not yet been rebuilt. Construction is ongoing, with pre-construction work beginning in January 2025. The project managed by KI Company under a $73 million Phase 1 progressive design build contract is progressing toward a targeted completion date of fall 2028. Okay, so they have an end date.
interesting.
But you know, so it looks like it will be a new design.
Mm,
The new bridge will be a cable stayed design, 2.4 miles long, 230 feet tall, and 1,400 feet wide
okay.
between pylons,
Wow.
significantly taller and wider than the original.
Hmm.
And the full federal cost of the project is being covered with an estimated total cost. Here we go.
There you go.
$2 billion, as confirmed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Maryland Transportation Authority.
On the
Yeah,
money. If I could high
look at
five you
that,
through this camera. Look at that.
dude. Ayo,
Look at
let's
that.
hit
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
right on the money.
All right.
Right on the money.
New theory. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
what if this is just kind of playing? I know we've done like 17 theories on this already, and I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there,
Yeah.
but new theory on this.
Oh, that's good.
What if it wasn't just for the embezzlement of money? What if they destroyed it because they needed money to engineer a new type of bridge?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
They
yep.
said that it
Yeah.
was wider between the pylons. They said that it was taller.
Yep.
This thing is an intense
Yep.
improvement. Nobody would have the money for that to be able to fund or, you know, try to like excuse adding all of this money to
Exactly.
making a significantly stronger
All
bridge
right.
than we need unless you smash it first. Now, if you smash it, everybody goes, "Oh, well, this is a danger to public safety. And then all of a sudden we go, well, we're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it stronger. We're going to make it way better, wider, taller, all that stuff. It's going to cost us billions of dollars. And everybody goes, well, in the name of public safety. And we go for it.
Well, here's an interesting angle here to your point of who could afford it.
Yeah.
So just kind of spitballing questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland, and specifically Baltimore, or rather Baltimore specifically in Maryland,
right,
has just over 500,000 people, according to the U.S. Census Bureau.
Okay.
Our great friends over there, colleagues, as of July 1st in 2024. Alleged gain of 754 residents from 2023 to 2024. So there's not really a whole lot of people moving into Baltimore. There's not a whole lot of people there in the first place. It's got a 17.7% poverty rate, median age of 36 and a half years old, median household income of just over $64,000. Now, their tax rate, if you can take that information down for me real quick, there, Adam, the 568,271.
Okay.
64,778.
Okay.
And Maryland has a progressive income tax, state income tax, rates ranging from 2% to 6.5%. The top rate of 6.5% applies to income over $1 million for single filers and 1.2 million for married couples filing jointly. The Baltimore City income tax. So there's a Maryland state income tax. It's variable. And then there's a Baltimore City non-negotiable income tax.
Okay.
So that's 3.2%. So we're looking at, I would say, probably about 6.2%.
Okay.
Roughly. And there's also a sales tax rate, but we won't muddy the waters on that. So let's say 6.2% tax rate on a median household income of $64,000 a year for 568,000 people. I mean, what are the numbers on that? What could that possibly buy?
Are you asking me to run them?
Yeah.
Oh. Hang on a second.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, well.
All right. Say that again. So we have a 6.2% tax rate, right? And how much is everybody making?
Yep.
There's like, what is it, 500 million people in the city?
65K.
All right, so we got 500 million people making about 65K per person, right? Yep. Income tax of 6.2%, right?
Yep. This would be best case because like they're not taxing the whole 60,000 either. So, this would be like if they were taxing 6.2 on the whole thing, this is what it would be. And I bet you it's still not anywhere close to $2.5 billion.
It's actually like 2 trillion.
Damn, are you dead ass? All right, well, maybe, see, this is why we ask the questions. Because as soon as you roam down the trail and you actually, this is actually good because this shows what the real process of asking questions ultimately comes down to is that sometimes we ask questions that don't go anywhere, but it's always good to ask anyway, and to do some digging and really figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not really like experts in this or anything. We're not the data crunchers or what. Definitely not very good with calculators.
I don't do shit with math. Absolutely.
But at the same time, like, this is not hard math. I think the only thing that would probably be a difference in the that would make the difference here is that if we're looking at the population of like, what was it, 500 million something.
Yeah. Well, because I mean that's probably not, there's probably
yeah, I was gonna say it depends on how many like actual moneymakers there are in that 500 million.
Right.
Yeah, because we're not talking about microphone. Nice. Yeah, we're not talking about people with careers who sorry, we're not talking about every single person in that 500 million having careers and making that 65,000. So that number probably doesn't work
Right.
out for that reason. Your mic does sound fine, which is good. Oh, wait. No, we did lose it.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, there
Nice,
you
we're
are. There you
back.
are. Very good. Very good.
I just unplugged it.
Nice. Nice.
Let's see. Let's see how much Baltimore takes in a year.
And we're just trying to take a look at whether or not Baltimore even has the money to pay for a $2 billion bridge.
Right.
I'd say based on this they
exactly.
do. Um,
Right, just back of the napkin math. We're just
I mean,
we're just kind of looking at it from
we
that
know that we know
perspective.
that 2 trillion is absurd. I mean, not every single human in Baltimore is making $65,000 a year.
Right, and they're
So I mean
certainly not all
that
paying
number's absurd,
taxes.
but oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
But at the same time, like even if it is 2 trillion and that's an absurd number, to get 2 billion, I mean that's pennies on the dollar, you know. So even if that 2 trillion is way off, apparently they have $2 billion to do that. So I don't know what this proves or what this does, but
Right.
we're
Well,
doing it.
it's kind of like a yeah. Well, it's kind of a yeah. I mean, there's nothing on here. Oh, okay. Baltimore City collected and this is official narrative.
Mhm.
Baltimore City collected approximately 2.6 billion in general fund revenue for fiscal year 2026, representing an 11% increase from the prior budget year. So actually, phenomenally, this actually might be feasible. They might actually be able to pay for this. I mean, I'm sure they're that budget is earmarked for other things. So I mean, it's probably who knows what the actual budget would be left over for a bridge, and who's buying it. But
Yeah, yeah, I mean, as long as they put some money away,
they're
it sounds
sitting
like
on stacks.
they're making money. It sounds like it, at least. I
Yeah,
mean, who knows what their books actually look
yeah,
like? But I mean, that our
right.
math doesn't make any sense. I don't really know what that does for us.
I mean, we're, we're just kind of winging it. But I mean, I never said we were mathematicians.
Yeah. I mean, this is why
I
the
certainly
public
didn't take
interpretation department does not work in pattern and correlation review,
right,
and not in records and acknowledgement. Like, we're here for public interpretation and
yeah.
transparency. Nobody asked us to work with a calculator, so we're doing our best with numbers on the fly. We'll see if we can get a little bit better at it.
Yeah, I mean, in the 12 years that I spent in undergrad, specifically for this position,
Yeah.
I didn't take a single math class. So,
Oh, that's well, absolutely. I mean, because the program that they put us through is incredibly specialized, and math has absolutely
right.
nothing to
I mean,
do
just
with interpreting things.
hyper specialized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that's a little bit my fault. I should have kept this on track. The numbers don't really mean much in the sense of interpretation.
Right.
So it was just kind of like a personal intrigue, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna call that one. Debunked. Honestly, Baltimore seems to be taking in quite a bit of money. The project seems on track. So I don't know what people are complaining about. Honestly, if people are complaining at all, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't. This one seems implausible.
So your interpretation on behalf of the public is that they no longer have this conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
This one's off the books.
I mean, that's a breakthrough. I mean, talk about silver linings tonight. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, first JFK didn't die,
100%.
and now this conspiracy doesn't even exist.
I mean, we're just making strides tonight.
This is a very positive episode for KWNA. I mean, like, everybody thinks conspiracies are like, down in the dumps and everything's all negative and everybody's out to get you. But man, the only thing that we're proving is that the world's turning right. This is crazy.
Yeah. Our sophomore effort out here is putting in work. I mean, it's
that's wild.
This is solid. We're doing well.
That's great to hear. I mean, thankfully we're doing this stream because now the public is aware that they don't have this conspiracy anymore. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Well, and speaking of public aware, I know we all this past week after our last stream, we kind of
Mhm.
were trying to figure out exactly who held the purse strings in any of our departments,
Right.
because fundamentally we're trying to get some requisitions put in for I was able to get a requisition for a mug of all
Nice.
things. I think yours is, I put one in for you.
Okay, cool, thank you.
I don't know if you got it yet, but yeah, we're working on that. But we also are getting a requisition put in for a stamp for you. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
yeah. Did you want to
yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, for public awareness? Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
something that I've been working on, for a really long time, and it's been something that's, been a really long journey to try to accomplish. That's also been part of this intense specialized program, like my host Alan Doles was talking about. Um, but we always are trying to, trying to make things better, make ourselves better, make ourselves stronger. Try to get more certifications, try to get better at our job, try to do better for you guys. And so, one of the things that I've been working towards, which has really been a thrill to work on, but something that I think has been um, really weighing on me to try to accomplish, was to get public awareness assessment certified. To get PAC certified would be absolutely incredible. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
recently actually achieved this. So I'm gonna show this off a little bit here. I did actually get my
Oh, nice.
certificate.
Yeah, yeah,
Did get public awareness assessment certified. And what's really
yeah,
cool about
yeah,
this is that this certifies me to well, it gives me the ability to certify public awareness regarding matters of public concern. And what's
yeah,
cool about this is that when we talk about stuff like this, it's important that we're transparent. It's one of the biggest reasons why we do this show. We're transparent about every interpretation that we do have, just like Alan was just talking about, with the Baltimore
yeah,
Bridge. Public is not concerned with this, which is incredible. And now that we've actually achieved that, we can put that out on stream, which is great. And
yeah, yeah,
it's wonderful that I can then now take this certification, this PAC certification that I've been able to achieve, and certify this. The Baltimore Bridge is the first public aware certified topic that we've covered, which is great. So,
yeah, yeah,
proceeding forth, we won't mention it every time, but yeah,
yeah,
being able to
yeah.
certify
I
all
mean, we're
these
not trying
things
to,
and send them over to records and everything is very beneficial for you as the public.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to rest on our laurels
Hmm.
here, or try and pat ourselves on the back. Although I will say, round of applause for you, Adam. That is
Thank
quite
you.
the achievement, especially after all the work you've put on that. I know that was a tough gig,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but it's not something we're gonna bring up every time. I just wanted to mention it for the sake of letting the public know that I mean, especially with what we've accomplished here tonight. Like, I mean, it's ultimately, I think it's good for the public to know that their public servants are, uh, you know, doing what they're supposed to do,
Hmm.
and that we are out here working for you and looking out for you, and that you know that at the very least in our little branch of the government, um, that we are getting you your money's worth. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I know that you're also working really hard on a certification as well, which is really cool. Trying to get 3P certified.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting as well. We'll probably mention that as soon as it's locked in.
Yeah, yeah, it's we're still in the process of it. I have taken all the exams. I've passed them as far as I know, and I mean, obviously stuff like that can change. Last minute.
Hmm.
It's not over until the stamp goes down, as
Right,
it
right,
were.
right. Yeah,
Um, but I'm waiting on that. As soon as I get the stamp, I should be able to get that in my email. And I don't know if you're gonna get yours framed. I intend on getting mine framed.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Yeah. So, just wanted to throw that out there. We are absolutely, doing everything that we can and working hard for you guys.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, yeah,
That's
yeah,
very exciting.
yeah,
It's very exciting to work hard and see that come to fruition. And I'm sure they told you the
yeah,
same thing on your certification as mine. Even though we completed it, and you said you already know that you passed all your exams, which is great. I know they go ahead and tell you that. They tell you that right away.
yeah, yeah.
But they probably told you the same
Right.
as mine. That it can take anywhere from like 1 to 9 months before you actually know whether or not you get certified, even though you pass. So.
Yeah,
So we'll just keep the
yeah,
public updated with that as soon as that certification comes through. I think mostly it's just paperwork and bureaucracy working their best. So it can take
yeah,
time. It can take
yeah,
very little time. It can happen almost immediately, but it can also take a lot of time, and you really
yeah.
never know when it's going to
Sometimes
happen.
the pipes are empty and sometimes they're chock full. I mean,
Hmm.
it just kind of, it's down to luck of the draw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Because I mean, they're lead
eventually,
pipes. Like you can't see inside of them. Like you have no idea. Like
yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
try sticking a borescope down there. I mean, it's impossible. I'm not that I've ever tried.
It's just
It's not
filled
my
with gunk
job,
and all that other
but
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, one would imagine. One would imagine. I mean, given what comes out of the tap,
Hmm.
when I'm trying to get some water, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
coming
why we
out
have filters.
orange. Um, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and I mean,
Yep.
I don't know about you, man, but I'm spending a lot of money in them things.
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of crazy,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
definitely add that to the future docket. I'm sure the Department of Correlation and Pattern Review will be adding potable water conspiracies to our data mining. I am positive.
yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's that one for sure. I know this is going to be in a lot of people's minds.
Hmm.
So I am looking ahead a few weeks, and I am anticipating that coming up on the docket here pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe at the very least within the next couple of weeks. But I mean, like I said, we're gonna try to pat ourselves in the back. So we will move on. We got a couple more things to get through on the docket tonight. Not too much. I know we're kind of running out of time here, but we'll try and get through these here pretty quick.
Real
This one's
quick on that,
actually. Oh,
did we want to
yeah,
go ahead and knock those out on tonight's docket, or I know that we're supposed to. I think one of the policies is try to keep it to an hour long stream. Do we want to kind of highlight them a little bit and say that we're going to get to them next week? Kind of do a little teaser. Do you want to try to just pound through them real quick, or
yeah,
how do you want to approach it?
yeah. I mean, hold on. Let me message Becca real quick because I know she's ultimately the one that would have the final say, and
Hmm.
whether or not we have done wrong by going over. Um, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. We also have to consider actually hitting everything on the docket versus pushing things off to next week. We're kind of in between policies here. We're supposed to hit everything on the docket, supposedly. We did question that last time, and I don't think we really got a clear answer on it. But we are supposed to go over all the stuff on the docket, even though we don't really know what the docket was gonna be. So it's kind of difficult to tell. And on top of that, the Department of Pattern and Correlation Review, they don't really know how long this stuff takes to go over. So putting things on the docket is it's kind of difficult for them to actually get accurate. So we get things on the docket. We're supposed to hit all of them. Nobody's really sure if that's possible or if we can even do it. Um, we don't
Yeah,
know if it's
yeah,
possible if we can do it because we don't see it until we start going live, so that all of our interpretations are, publicly transparent, which is super important. Um, but
right,
then we've also got the
right.
policy that we have to keep it to an hour. So we're in between policies here, and everything's kind of tight, and we're just trying to figure it out a little
Just trying to
bit.
make sure we're doing it right.
Right,
Just trying to
right,
make sure that we're staying transparent and that we're holding to public accountability uh, guidelines. So it's
right.
just bear with us here for a second. We'll be back on the road here momentarily.
Has she responded to that at all?
Not yet. I know it's kind of late. I don't know if she's on the on a laptop or anything right now, but I know it's kind of a I may have sent it to the wrong chat. Hold on.
We need a we'll be right back kind of splash screen kind of thing going on. But we're
Yeah,
doing
that
good.
would
We're
be
doing good. We're
nice.
doing good.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I mean, regardless of what Becca says, whether or not she responds, I personally, I'm cool with it. And if anything, I'll, as the director of public interpretation, I'll take responsibility for it, for going over, and we'll just go ahead and keep on plowing through, because when I saw it, after we went live, this is kind of a throwback to next week, or I'm sorry, last week.
Last week, yeah.
And last week. And, it's something that I really wanted to go over, because we never, we had to send it back to Brian to, to kind of do some more digging into. And, I think it'll go quick, because it seems like he wasn't really able to find a whole lot of specific correlation, but this was specifically in regards to is the endangerment of chinchillas related to 9/11? Why are they going extinct? This goes back to last week again with the whole cloning thing. Why is PETA all up in arms every 5 minutes when they could just be cloning everything? And
yeah, absolutely.
What did that cloning have to do with 9/11?
Right.
I know I mentioned that there was a possible correlation to Saudi Arabia, but ultimately, based on what Brian sent me, it looks like there actually isn't any further correlation between chinchillas and Saudi Arabia and 9/11. Primarily, it seems that because after further exploration, Brian discovered that chinchillas just fundamentally don't live in that area of the world. So yeah, a little bit of a jump in the gun moment, I guess, but it happens. It happens in the pursuit of public interpretation.
Wait, there are no chinchillas in Northeast United States? Is that what you're saying?
No. Specifically in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, chinchillas in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I apologize.
The correlation between the
correlation between
and,
chinchillas in Saudi Arabia. Okay.
Right. The participants in the event and the chinchillas that were going extinct. And I mean, ultimately, they're more of a South American, specifically Chile.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I could be butchering it, but
that's okay.
Either way, so it definitely seems like we might have been. It was kind of a spur of the moment connection.
Right.
We followed policies. We sent it immediately over to Brian, and he did his due diligence, and it happens like that. Sometimes there's just no further connection, but ultimately this one was kind of close to my heart because I thought it was exciting, but nothing further.
Let me ask you this, if you don't mind me keeping it open with questions.
No, of course not.
You said that there are no chinchillas in Saudi Arabia, right?
As far as we're aware, yeah.
But the events of 9/11 were international. So I beg the question, does the chinchillas actually not being in Saudi Arabia actually close that out entirely?
No, I mean, I suppose not. I mean, it's a good question. That is a good question indeed. With it having an international scope, I mean, it is entirely possible that even though there may be no direct connection to Saudi Arabia, that it could be indirect. I mean, that's obviously for sure kind of a telltale sign of terror cells. So I mean, it's entirely possible that the chinchillas could have been. I mean, hell, maybe even a possible like poaching / funding network for the hijackers. maybe that's how they got money to get boats into the country originally, or however that is that they got into the country. I don't really recall. So maybe that's the connection. Maybe the connection is that they were actually chinchilla poachers, and that's how they funded their box cutters. That's how they funded their, flight training is, poaching and then smuggling chinchilla furs into the States, which, I'll kick this back to Brian and see if we can dig deeper into that, because
absolutely.
That's an avenue I didn't think of. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll actually head this one up with Brian. I'll let him know that I don't feel like we're being effectively transparent with this. I mean, I think that I think that it's a fair conclusion that chinchillas are not in Saudi Arabia. I think that kind of concludes that there's no immediate and obvious connection there, and I can definitely see that. But at the same time, like, 9/11 happens and the chinchillas immediately start going extinct. And you mentioned some staggering numbers. I think you said 90 to 95% population decrease since then.
Unbelievable.
That's intense. And I do agree we are running out of time, so I don't want to linger too hard on that. But I do think we'll double back on it eventually. And I'll take that back to Brian and see if we can discuss some things about that. Make sure that we're being properly transparent. So we're going to hold off on the public awareness certification there. We'll keep that one from going to acknowledgement records for now. All right. In the last few minutes, let's try and see if we can hit my personal favorite, the next item on the docket. I just became aware of this and I loved it as soon as I saw it. Let's go ahead and hit it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So this one's pretty insane. This one asserts that 95%, which is such a staggering number, of highway accidents are done, which I'm assuming that's kind of synonymous with like performed, given what comes after, are done / performed by professional actors paid by the government to reduce the public's sense of control over things as small as day-to-day affairs. Most people are good drivers and never do anything reckless. So the public could not possibly be stupid enough to cause this many accidents on the daily. And I mean, I don't know what your commute's like, but it's not great. It's rough out there,
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, like, I completely agree with this. I mean, nobody on the street is reckless. People are great drivers. I've met so many wonderful people. It's very rare that I see somebody, who I think is either reckless or, stupid enough to cause an accident or anything like that. There's just so many wonderful people out there that just never would do something like that. I mean, the idea that you're on the road, right? And you're taking the idea that you get there 2 seconds faster over keeping your fellow drivers alive as well as yourself, while sacrificing hundreds of thousands of dollars in public property and private property, emergency services. The idea that just a little slip up over you saving 2 or 3 seconds of time can cause such a horrible thing.
If that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's unreal. Seconds matter on the track, but they don't really matter, when there's a red light every quarter mile, or bumper to bumper trappic for 16 miles. Like, I mean, it's it's kind of egregious and truly, I mean, to your point of most people just being kind of chill and kind of great. It's almost like a party in the street every day until one of these so-called paid actors.
I mean, I never see them happen.
Kind of just, well, I've seen a couple.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, it was really strange. I mean, the situation was very strange because, it's typically just everybody's kind of having a good time, and then out of nowhere, you have this car that just kind of careens from off the shoulder, basically, doing God knows how fast, and just kind of slams into the side of just this random person.
Mhm.
Right. And they hop out of the car like nothing happened to them.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah,
it's
almost like they're
got to be
trained for it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like a stunt driver or something.
Yeah,
It's crazy, crazy.
absolutely. That's absolutely it.
Yeah.
I totally agree with this, because how many times do you see it that people are, that somebody is driving recklessly, right?
Yeah.
They hit somebody else, and it's almost like they were prepared for that, right? I mean,
I'm telling you
as
what,
soon
man,
as it's
it's
over, the
unbelievable.
person who causes it steps right out, walks
Yeah.
around, does the little show of, "Oh, what have
Yep.
I done?" But they're completely okay. Maybe they took
Yeah.
the helmet off, you
Yeah.
know? Maybe there's a roll cage in there,
Right. Right. Yeah.
stuff like that.
Who's checking the passenger seat
Yeah.
or even in the back?
Yeah, yeah.
you know I mean, it's very possible that, I mean, because their hair looks pretty disheveled after the fact.
Mhm,
I mean, I would imagine it's probably not that serious, in
mhm.
the sense of like, I would imagine that the crash itself would cause ruffled hair. So I mean, it's
No.
you know
I mean, it's an excuse.
yeah, I
It's an
mean, it's
excuse.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, it's this one for sure is, it's up there, and I'm glad it's on the docket, because this is something that even me personally, I don't have a whole lot of personal connection to a lot of these. I know, but this one, this night, there's been two, the beans
Mhm.
and the cars,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm this one's on my mind for
Yeah.
sure. So I know
Okay.
it's on other people's.
Yeah, so I know you're talking about this from personal perspective. It's good to bring personal perspective into it, absolutely. What do you think the public thinks of this? What is, at least what is a broad, stance of the public, regarding the idea that highway accidents are, government-paid professional actors?
Honestly, I think I think it's a mixed bag.
Mm,
I think you have the people who don't really pay attention to it, and are just kind of in the traffic and just kind of
mhm,
vibing, rolling
yeah,
along, not really paying a whole lot of attention, or at least they're not paying attention in the sense of like questioning it.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
just kind of a mild interruption in their day.
Mhm,
And then you have kind of the middle line group that's you know um allowing it to kind of get to them,
mhm,
I think,
yeah,
um that is causing very high amounts of frustration.
mm,
And then I think you have the more extreme group that is taking it to somewhere it shouldn't be,
mhm,
and is maybe even possibly engaging in a conspiracy of their own to fight back against it, possibly.
mhm, mhm,
um I think that there could be, for sure, I think that's for sure something to look into. So we may kick that part of it back to Brian and see what he can dig up on that.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it comes down to three groups. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, in regards to that, I mean, let that one run on through to records and acknowledgement. They'll handle that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
always keep in mind that the guys in pattern and correlation review have access to all the stuff in records and acknowledgement. So just
Okay.
make sure to
Okay.
keep it a standard policy. That way we're being nice and transparent with everything. That way everybody is familiar with our policy and how things are supposed to roll. So we want to make sure that after
Yeah.
public interpretation, everything ends up going to records and acknowledgement. Um, and then as soon as it
Yep.
gets properly recorded, bring that record back to Brian, star it, highlight it, however you like to do it, red flag it, and make sure
Yeah.
that kind of sticks out. That way we
Yeah.
can get around to it a little bit quicker. Make sure it lands at the top of the stack. But yeah, that's really
Okay.
interesting. And
Cool.
I kind
Cool.
of want to go
Yeah.
back to what you said about some people not really embracing it, but not really thinking much about it, kind of just accepting it as it is, not paying much attention or not caring about it. You got to think about the fact that if this theory is true, 95%
Yeah.
of highway accidents, and we're not talking about other accidents, but highway accidents, right? Because they have the greatest
Yeah.
impact
Yeah.
on the public and motives notwithstanding. Um,
Right.
They've been
Right.
doing this a
Right.
long time, you know? If this is
Oh
true, they've
yeah.
been
I mean,
doing it a long time. People are gonna be used to it.
yeah.
People are going to expect to see it. You go to work every day. I'm probably going to see at least one accident on the highway today. Going to work,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Going home, maybe. But at least one,
Yeah.
you know?
A certain level of pretension. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you get people used to that, they stop looking at it too closely, right? As long as you
Yeah.
get that
Yeah.
locked in, you can keep it going because people just think it's
Yeah.
normal. Why look closely? Happens all the time. I'm just trying to get to work.
Well, and do you think it's just a psychological warfare tactic? Do you think it's more than just an attempt to reduce a sense of control? Do you think it has other sinister aspects to it, or what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely, I was thinking this as soon as I saw it. Yeah, absolutely. I was definitely thinking that it had
Okay. Yeah.
sinister connotations behind it. Like you said, psychological, definitely from the aspect of uh, removing people's sense of self-control or, control of a situation or scenario. And I think that's why
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
important that it's on the highway. I mean, this conspiracy doesn't have anything to do with any other roads. It's just on the highway because this is where the paid actors are actually worth the money spent on them, because you're impacting the
Right.
largest amount of people. And if you want to mess with
Yeah.
people's sense of control, um, wait until you get a 6, 7 lane highway. Block that crap
Yeah.
up with one paid accident. That's all it takes. Suddenly
Right.
you're impacting
Right. Yeah.
thousands.
Because I mean, dude, you have a 14-lane interstate,
Hmm.
and obviously 7 lanes go in one direction, 7 lanes go in the other,
Right, right, right.
and both sides at the same time of day have, and it's because it's always the left lane. It's
Hmm.
always the left lane. There's always
Yeah.
an accident in the left-hand lane,
Yep.
the leftmost lane, and they do this rolling shutdown where
Hmm.
it's this diagonal cut
Yep.
where they're shutting down all 7 or all 6 lanes, and they have it down to one. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's some people
That's
that never
really
used a
important.
zipper before. So I mean, they just
Yeah. That's really
yeah,
important though, because when you've got 7 lanes like that running one direction, like we're talking about, um, and there's an accident in the left lane, and they shut down 6 out of the 7. There's an intentionality to that, and I think that really supports and backs and builds a good foundation for some of the proof that we're putting towards this conspiracy. Because, um, one of
yeah,
the greatest ways of torture is to provide somebody a little bit of hope, just a glimmer of hope.
yeah,
Um, it's
yeah,
you remember
yeah,
they don't usually refer to it as stopped traffic. People do all the
yeah,
time, but what's more common? Stop and go.
yeah,
It's stop and go traffic. Why?
yep,
Well, because I'm gonna move forward an
yeah.
inch, move forward another
Death by a
inch.
thousand cuts.
Exactly.
Putting a bamboo shoot underneath the prisoner's back. Letting it
Hmm.
grow through them. Yeah, I mean it's classic Viet Cong.
Yeah.
We got Charlie out here in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean
Absolutely.
it's crazy out there. I mean, like you said, 95%. That's staggering. It's
Hmm.
truly staggering.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Death by a thousand cuts. Thousand reminders before you get to work that you don't have control over how quickly
Yeah.
it takes you
Yeah.
to get to work.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you
That's
imagine
rough.
you imagine how much that cascades throughout your workday.
Oh yeah.
You get to work and you've just experienced the most humiliating psychological torture.
Hmm.
And the whole rest of your day, I mean, you're just grasping for some sort of control,
Hmm.
and you never get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
it's no wonder people are so fucked.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
crazy.
Well, it's a beautiful tactic, and I think it evolved because of the scenario that we're in. Because when we're at work, you've always got a boss above you, right? Our system always
Right.
works that way.
Right.
There's always a boss above you. That's why corporate America exists the way that it does, or at least that's part of the symptom of it. That there's always a boss above you,
Yeah.
all the way up until the CEO. Well, who's above that guy? Well, you still got the government. You still got
Yeah.
policies. You've got whoever else. Somebody's always above you. But guess what?
Yeah.
We had a touch of control when we got off work. We thought, oh, we get to control something. You get to drive your own
Yeah.
car, drive home.
Get to be behind the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's master of your
Go,
own destiny in a way. And
yeah,
it gets immediately wrenched from you. Yeah.
absolutely thrashed. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thrashed.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
it's
great way to
it's a
put it.
shame. It's a
Yeah.
shame because it's a
Yeah.
it's a beautiful outlet. It's a beautiful thing to experience. And again, they just shut down 6 of those 7 lanes once a day. It only costs a couple bucks for a decent actor in a car or two. insurance will take care of the rest. And I mean, that's really just an
Right.
insurance racket anyway. You know, it just
Well,
reminds
yeah, exactly.
everybody,
Yeah, because insurance rates
yeah,
go up
yeah,
on
reminds everybody,
everybody.
hey, you could have an accident. You could
Yeah.
have an accident. They happen
Yep.
every day. You see them, everybody sees them. It's like a
Yep.
billboard for insurance
Yep.
companies. That's a phenomenal way to put it.
Yeah, it's a billboard for insurance. It's a billboard for lawyers,
Hmm.
ambulance chasers. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, you know, an entire industry created out of government paid actors. I mean,
Hmm.
can you believe that?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
unbelievable.
not to mention the
And yet,
news.
it's just, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the news loves
It's
covering
just
this,
there right
you
in
know?
front of your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely. News loves
yeah.
covering
I
traffic,
do
all
want to
that stuff.
I want to point out that now that you mention it, I mean, we're not here to sensationalize this 100%. We are not a news agency.
Right. Right.
You know, we are not something that's out there making profit on, you know, sensationalizing tragedy.
Right.
We're a
We are a
non-governmental
nonprofit.
organization.
Hmm.
Right, right. You know, we take public funds, and we also take donations,
Hmm.
but we're not for profit. So I mean,
Right.
we're not out here sensationalizing it for a paycheck. So I did just want to mention that briefly.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. So there's no reason for us to be biased by that. That's one of our biggest efforts here at KWNA is try to avoid bias. We don't let anybody else's interpretations or anything else come through. Nothing bleeds through. We don't get any influence from the government, public, private sector, anything.
Yeah.
We're normal
Yep.
people like everybody else. So we data mine all the information ourselves in pattern and correlation review.
Yeah.
We interpret it ourselves thanks to our director of public interpretation. Um, Incredible job by Alan Doles, always offering accurate and precise public interpretations for whoever we need to interpret for at the time. And then we acknowledge and
No.
record it ourselves and then feed it right back in so that conspiracies can build properly, effectively, how they truly happen. Let everything cycle through. So, avoiding
Yep.
bias in any
Yep.
way possible. That's a huge goal of ours. It definitely helps our transparency effort
It's a
as well.
phenomenal process. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
it's a process that's been created by some of the best minds in the industry,
Hmm.
and you know, we are happy to be a part of um, the innovation. Yeah, just
Yeah,
absolutely 100%. We love our job.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It's very exciting indeed. Well, this has been a phenomenal segment of KWNA. We've hit
Yeah.
some absolutely incredible conspiracies. I think tonight's highlight is silver linings. I mean, aside from the beans,
Yeah.
probably the most
Yeah.
emotional segment that we've had thus far. With
Yeah. I mean,
the idea of having
sorry.
MSG.
You know, it was just,
No, I
yeah.
mean we have to brace ourselves for emotional segments. We have to brace ourselves for things that
Yeah.
are going to pull on the
Yeah.
heartstrings. I mean, stuff like JFK living until
Yeah.
2009. I mean, that's a phenomenal story. Very positive. The Baltimore Bridge being destroyed when it needed to come down, and we built a better one, and there was money. So I mean, that's very positive. Um, that's wonderful that we destroyed
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bridge.
100%.
The endangerment of chinchillas.
Literally
I
building
mean,
bridges.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
KWNA building bridges. Um, then you
Yeah.
got the then you've got
Absolutely.
the endangerment of chinchillas being related to 9/11. We haven't quite
Yeah.
proven that the public's
Yeah. We're
interpretation
getting there.
is that it's not true, but at the same time, we do
Yeah.
know that chinchillas are not present in Saudi Arabia. So direct
Yeah.
correlation
Yeah.
there, maybe not, but at least it's not obvious. We're making
Yeah.
ground with that. That sounds positive. The idea
Exactly.
that humans
Well, and it
just did
doesn't
that
take,
instead of chinchillas being involved, that's I
right.
think positive, you know?
Well, I mean, you know, it certainly begs the question, you know, was there enough done to hold them accountable? Maybe
The
that's
chinchillas?
what ultimately yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's exactly what their endangerment has accomplished is some sort of reckoning on behalf of the American people. You
Wow.
know, and we'll rest assured we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
You know, but
Absolutely.
yeah, 100%.
Like we've mentioned before, sometimes these things have to cycle a little bit. Some conspiracies build
Yeah.
on others, some are baseline, some are
Yeah.
multiple layers. And so these things can take time. So we'll definitely come back around to
Yeah.
that one. And then, a tragedy for sure, but I honestly think it's slightly better. The idea that 95% of highway accidents are done by professional actors. That's one less person you have
Yeah.
to feel sorry for. So when you see, an accident on the side of the road, you might think to yourself, Maybe that guy's just a paid actor. Maybe he wanted to do that. You know, he looks
Yeah,
distraught. He looks
yeah,
frustrated. You know, I mean,
yeah.
he's getting paid. You
Maybe
might
he's
think
got a
that.
Jersey
You
Mike's
know,
in the back. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And maybe he's just about to
He's just
pop a squat on the side of the interstate and just bust down at number 9. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
dude's getting paid to take a
Mike's
lunch
way.
break. I mean, I'm on my way to work, and that guy's getting paid to take a lunch break. I mean, come on. So,
Yeah, at 9 o'clock
lot
in the morning. I mean, give me a
yeah.
break. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is a very interesting and fun episode for KWNA. For any of you out there who feel like conspiracies are all just down in the dumps, they're all negative. Nobody wants to look at them. Tune back into KWNA. Silver linings are out there. There's a lot of stuff to be positive for, and we'll definitely hit it again. And we'll try to keep a positive note on some of these conspiracies that allow us. So it's been a good segment.
Absolutely. I mean, truly, it's been wonderful. Another week in the books, and yeah, I mean, we're hitting a stride. So I appreciate it, Adam, and
Yeah,
appreciate everything you do. And we'll see you next week.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.